RingVille episode, Dae Vanity. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Kevin Herrera Sanchez, KHS, and today I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with someone who's currently with Technical to Training Wrestling, the Graceful Odyssey, Dae Vanity. How you doing?
I'm good. Hi, everyone.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Is that like a little clap? Like
yeah, it's like a little clap. Like, hi, everyone.
Nice. Do you mind if I take that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you very much for sitting down with me.
Yes, it's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure. Yes.
I think one of the first things I want to ask you about is the Graceful Odyssey, right?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
I originally had like the Odyssey, but when I started training at House of Glory, and I was at House of Glory for like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
The Amazing Red like gave me that nickname. Like he gave me the nickname Graceful because of how I like move in the ring. So like
Nice.
I just like took that with the Odyssey, and I was like, the Graceful Odyssey has like a ring to it. It like kind of goes with like my character, my persona. I've like built my wrestling character around the Graceful Odyssey.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've just become the Graceful Odyssey Dae Vanity.
What does the word Odyssey like mean to you for you to kind of like, oh, this is me?
Yeah, so like, you know, like Odyssey, like the definition of it means like going on a journey or like a journey. I hope that's correct. But it's like, I wanted to be a wrestler where if I ever do get on TV, I want to be an inspiration to someone, just how some wrestlers have been an inspiration to me. And I want someone to see me on TV and go along with me on this journey and like be inspired. Yeah.
Nice. You mentioned you started at House of Glory.
Yes.
Right? What was it like for you there in the sense of like, because Amazing Red, incredible.
Yes.
One of the
He
best.
is, yes. When I was at House of Glory, like I took everything that they told me, like not hard, but like as a stepping stone and like learning. Like if I got told to fix something, I would fix it. And once I perfected the like fixing it, I would add my sprinkle. Yeah.
Yeah, season it up.
Yeah. So yeah, being House of Glory, they taught me all of the fundamentals and everything I needed to know, which like will guide me and anyone who wants to learn wrestling.
Fundamentally
Yes,
important.
and like technique down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, because you were at House of Glory and now you're at Technical to Training Wrestling.
Yes.
2T, right? And what's your time like there?
I love it. It's like a home away from home. It's like I feel very included there. As soon as I got there, everyone like made me feel like I was at home. I feel like it's kind of like House of Glory in the sense of Logan Black, the coach. He makes you learn everything, like so you can know what you're doing and also have the fundamentals down. And also like I had took a hiatus for a year from wrestling because I wanted to take a mental break because wrestling does take a toll on you sometimes. So when I got back in April, like T2T, Technique to Training, right? Logan Black and everyone there who like are the trainers, they like made me feel at home, and they like made me brush off the ring rust that I thought I had. But once I got in the flow, it was like as if I didn't miss a step.
Nice. It's like riding a bike, you just kind of jump.
Yeah, it was like secondhand.
What made you come back?
What made me come back was I told myself that if I didn't come back in April, because I had left wrestling July of 2023.
Gotcha.
And I told myself that if by April of 2024 I didn't, because I was giving myself a little grace period, and like every time the grace period came, I like pushed it further. So when April came, I told myself, if I don't restart wrestling again in April, then I'm going to quit wrestling. And I'm not doing it anymore. But I didn't want to do that because wrestling has been something I've wanted to do since I was a child. I know that sounds corny.
No, but it's like...
Yeah, it's like a childhood dream.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do it, and I'm glad that I decided to do it those 4 or 5 years ago.
Having 4 or 5 years of experience already, it's
Yeah.
incredible. It's something that's like not a lot of people can say that they have.
Yeah, true. Yes, it's very true. Yeah.
So when I was scrolling through your Instagram, one of the things that I saw was you call Naomi Mother.
Yes. Oh my
Like-
God.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yes. No.
Yes. So Naomi to me is like, she's a very intricate part to my wrestling. It might not be for anyone else,
Yeah.
but for me, like growing up, I loved the women wrestlers. Growing up, watching like FCW and like seeing her there and seeing how athletic she was, and like then seeing her in WWE and all the things that she's accomplished, she just like, I don't know, she reminds me of myself, and like everything she does, I'm like inspired by it because she moves so well. Like that's Mother, and I hope if she sees this, like please, I love you like so much. Like you inspire me a lot, and like everything I do in wrestling is like I feel like I'm paying homage to her.
Yeah.
Because like I don't feel like sometimes she doesn't get the recognition that she deserves. So I feel like if I'm like doing like certain wrestling moves that I've like studied from her, and like I'm like taking little parts from like different matches that she does and like using it in like my moveset, it's like I'm paying homage to the person who inspired me to start wrestling. Because obviously when I was younger, I was inspired by Melina, Michelle McCool, Alicia Fox.
Is that Divas era? Like
Yeah.
Mickey James is in there. Right?
Yes, it's like the
the
Divas
Bella Twins
era.
early on.
Yeah, kind of. AJ Lee is also one of my big inspirations as well. But Naomi just spoke to me in my character, and how she moves is so inspiring to me. And I feel like she's just like a very intricate part of my wrestling journey, because even though those other women inspired me, Naomi like made me want to start wrestling, and she made me like want to seek that passion.
Were you there like at the beginning with like the Funkadactyls?
Yes, that's the era. That's the era. If you're watching this, I love you, your mother. Yes, you birthed me in wrestling, for real. Please claim me, please. If you do, please claim me, because it's hard out here being.
That's not funny.
It's being claim me. It's real hard out here being a Naomi stan, a Nao mob, and
The Nao Mom?
yes, that's what she calls her fan base. Like it's very hard being a Nao mob, and please claim me. Like, Mother.
That's that funny. I like that. I like that.
But I do. I like, and like also watching her on Total Divas, like you get like an insight to her life and her actual character outside of wrestling, and like the person that she is also spoke to me, because like in Total Divas, see, she was also like kind, and like everything that you hear now on social media from like new girls who come, or new women, because they're not girls, they're women who come into the WWE or NXT or any part of the WWE, they're always greeted kindly by her, and I love that.
Right. Yeah, because like there was a time too where it's like I was very locked into Total Divas.
Yes.
I was like, we watching this? Either it's when it's airing live,
Yes.
or we catch it whenever we can.
Whenever we can, yes. It was like that.
Yes.
Like I was tuning in every week just to watch. No shade to all the other divas and women there. I was tuning in for Naomi. and Cameron, no shade, no shade, no shade. I love every single one of y'all, but Naomi, yes, I was in it for you, girl.
Right. Holding it down.
Yes, I was holding it down. Like, and even still, like now, I'm like always cheering for her. Like, and my delusions will go insane because something could be happening involving like the woman's title, and I'm like, how can we add Naomi to this? Yeah,
Like, it's missing something.
It's
Naomi?
It's missing the glow. Yeah. It is.
Because even in your entrance, you pay homage to her.
Yes. I used to do something completely different when I was like doing my entrance. I still like kept like the fundamentals of like obviously me, because obviously I can't do everything Naomi is doing. I have to be myself. Absolutely. And I have to like incorporate things that I want to do for myself and like give my character and not just be my character and portray Naomi. Like, even though she inspires me and like I take a lot from her, I also have to be myself. I'd like also vogue to the ring, do a little voguing here and there whenever I do my entrance. But back then I used to just like kind of like jump in. Yeah. But after I saw her, when she came back after being at TNA and then she came back to WWE, and then she did her entrance, and then in her entrance she did like a split getup. It was so like
you're like, yo, she ate
that. Yeah. She ate that down, and then to me it was just like this is something that I can do as a wrestler. And I try to not do it as much because obviously I have to be myself. Yeah. But in moments where I feel like you want to get those little things out there. So if like sometimes if I can do that split in the entrance and then do a little slide back up, it's like I paid homage to Naomi, and that always makes me happy, because if anytime she sees anything I do, hopefully is like, she notices me, mother, claim me, please.
You talked a little about just like, you know, you can't just be a copy and paste.
Yes.
Right? As much as you would.
Yes.
You know, like, so what was that process like in finding yourself in wrestling?
Yeah, so like that process was like learning all the fundamentals and like going along with the flow and learning about wrestling. Even though you watch it as a child, you don't understand the fundamentals until you get in that ring. And they teach you chaining, technique, they teach you ground chaining, they teach you grappling, basing, and like doing all of the moves safely, but wrestling wise. And like once you get it down, you add your own flavor to it. So like obviously these 4 or 5 years that I've been wrestling, there's been like other moves that you've probably never seen Naomi do that I like do, because I find them like to fit my character. Yeah, so like I'll like use moves that I feel like fit my character, and then I'll add a little like homage from Naomi into things that I do. Yeah.
Nice. One of the things I wanted to talk about is this like really heartwarming picture that Brian Baum posted.
Yes.
The caption was LGBTQ representation in wrestling matters. Yes. And it's you and like I want to say 8 or 9 other wrestlers, and it's just like this beautiful picture where it's like it just looks like everyone is just supporting each other. Right? Yes. How important is that especially where it's like before, like that wasn't fully accepted, and even now it's like, you know, not everybody is the most open to it, but it's like how important is something like that to be happening in wrestling now?
I feel like it's very important. Shout out to Brian Baum. He's like the best person ever. And like wrestling, like outside of wrestling, he's also a very good friend. But in wrestling, like he understands the fundamentals as well, and like he gets the like logistics of wrestling down. And like I'm gonna be honest with y'all, when you get in that ring and you could plan the whole match, you get in that ring, the adrenaline is going to make you forget. And like I'm working on like always remembering what I have to do, but the amount of times that I've been in the ring with Brian Baum, if I do even forget one little thing, I am confident that if I'm in the ring with Brian and I ask him, hey, what's next? He's going to guide me into the next thing. And like also doing this for 4 or 5 years, your body kind of like, swiftly is like second nature. So if like you're lost and like the person you're wrestling with like knows what's going on and then you follow them, the match can go.
You fall back into
it because your body, the body language of your partner and yourself is like what gets you there. But we were straying from the plot, back to the plot. So to me, that's like growing up, I didn't have, and I'm sure that other LGBTQ wrestlers and like LGBTQ fans watching, they didn't have like that representation growing up. That day at the Battle Club Pride show, it was a very, very important day because it was a lot of us who have this dream of wanting to be big wrestlers and wanting to be representation for other people, trans representations, gay representation, bi representation, representations of all kinds. And in that show, they showed like the intricate parts of what we were all as people instead of being viewed as like LGBTQ group, even though that's what we went there to do and we got booked for that. It was like we were there showcasing that yes, we're part of the LGBT community, but we can also do this, so don't leave us out of the picture. So I love my LGBTQ wrestling like crowd of like wrestlers that I've like been a part of at Technique 2 training or at House of Glory. We've all been like a tight niche, and we've all tried to help each other, whether it's like backstage, helping each other with gear, helping each other with like match logistics, or like outside of wrestling. It's just, I just love it. Yeah.
Nice. That's really nice to hear. There's like not only as wrestlers, but behind the scenes, more as friends.
Yes.
If somebody was to watch a match that you've had that would say, hey, okay, look, this is who Dae Vanity is in the ring and out of the ring, what match would you show them?
So my first ever match that I had in front of a crowd was at House of Glory, and it was on the show RPS before RPS became LPW. I was their first intergender match. It was the general manager at LPW now. Her name is Corey Lee. Great wrestler, by the way. Great woman in general, by the way.
Shout out Corey Lee.
Yeah, shout out Corey Lee. She's the general manager now at LPW. I went up against her and Prince Valentino. And that match, to me, was like a core memory. It will always be a core memory in my brain because it showed our characters very well. And like, the public didn't get to see it, but behind the scenes, it was like kind of like a story build-up kind of thing. It was like week after week, I was going up against Corey, like in a singles match, or Prince Valentino in a singles match, and like I would like lose, and like I would like give them a fight, and like they just did not like me. So then when the time came to put on a show for like take the like backstage wrestling and put it in front of a crowd, I felt like the crowd didn't understand kind of what was going on because it was like an intergender wrestling match, and like they didn't understand the full logistics of the storyline we had going on backstage. But once we went out there and we showcased our talents and we showcased the story, they kind of understood what was going on, and like that match will forever be engraved in my memory because that was the first match I had in front of a large, very, very large crowd. And it was a match that I did with two amazing wrestlers, two amazing people. And I just had a very, very, very good time.
What are some, or is something that you are really proud of in your wrestling career?
I would say my perseverance and my uniqueness from like everyone else. I feel like everyone in wrestling is different from each other, and we all like have traits from wrestlers that inspire us. But what I'm most proud of in wrestling is like being able to showcase what I can bring in these past 4 or 5 years, been able to showcase what I can bring, and like even if I feel like people underestimate me and then they like see me wrestling, it's like, oh, I did not expect you to be this good. So like I'm very proud of like how far I've come and how much I've grown in wrestling. Because obviously when I started, it's like, you're like a baby bird. You're like getting fed all this information, and then one day out of nowhere, you're just being expected to like fly, and you get pushed out the nest, and you're expected to fly, or you fall, or you sink, or you swim. So it's like, I'm very proud of the journey that I've been on and like how far I've come, because if me from 5-6 years ago can see myself now, and I've talked about it so much with like people around me. I've always wanted to be a wrestler. I always wanted to do what they do on TV, and people told me, no, you can't do that. Like, I don't see you doing that. You're too fragile. And then looking at me now, it's like,
come on,
hello. Not to be cocky, but like I can
talk your shit.
I can like really do this, and I'm very proud of myself. And that's something that I feel like no one can take that away from me. Like my journey in wrestling and like everything that I've accomplished, even if it's not big, things that I've accomplished for myself, and those goals are things that I'm proud of.
Well, that's a beautiful thing to hear.
Yes.
And then, thank you very much for sitting down with me.
Yes, always.
It was a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure, yes.
And then, anything you would like to plug to the camera? Social media, merger.
Social media, d._vanity. Follow me there and see what's to come.
And everything will be in the description below as
yes.
well. Well, until next time, everyone. We're out.
Bye.